The worn-out lanes of Moonlight Bowling Alley were illuminated by the eerie glow of the flickering neon lights. In the dimly lit space, the sound of crashing pins and laughter echoed on another Friday night. After a busy week, my friends and I, a lively group of unconventional individuals, chose to relax by participating in some enjoyable rivalry. The air reeked of old beer and affordable pizza, while the noise of rolling balls and pins crashing together formed a chaotic symphony. As I neared the bowling lane, my concentration on the game was suddenly broken by an unsettling person standing at the alley's border. Amid the neon-lit festivities, a tall, skinny man with a messy look appeared to be out of sorts. With an intense look, he locked eyes with me and slowly moved closer, causing a chilling sensation to run through me. Despite my increasing unease, my friends remained unaware as they were still captivated by the game. A person I didn't know paused in front of me, with a strange smile on their face. I noticed the darkness in his eyes and felt like there was a secret hidden within him. In a low, raspy voice filled with creepiness, he muttered, "Hey, are you there?" Sending chills down my spine. "I need your help. Would you be able to help me out?" I paused and glanced at my friends, who were focused on trying to hit strikes. Despite my doubts, I reluctantly nodded, uncertain of the consequences. My heart raced as the stranger plunged his hand into his old and torn coat, revealing a bloody knife. I felt nauseous and fearful when I saw the shiny blade. What have I gotten myself into? Calmly, he handed me the weapon and asked me to hold on to it, only for a short duration. "Keep it safe, all right?" A strong internal voice urged me to reject the madman and find assistance by running away. I was overcome with fear, causing me to only manage a weak nod. The unknown person smiled and vanished into the darkness, leaving me there, holding the bloody knife tightly like a cursed object. The weapon in my hands felt heavy and terrorizing, as if it was pulling me down like an anchor. Desperation filled my eyes as I looked at my friends. In a trembling voice, I quietly said, "Hey, we must leave this place. Something's seriously wrong." They stared at me with a blend of confusion and amusement, completely unaware of the terrifying situation happening. I urgently handed the knife stained with blood to Jake, my closest friend, and begged him to grasp the seriousness of the situation. "Please conceal and safeguard this." I stuttered and expressed my panic, saying, "That person gave it to me, and I believe they have done something terrible." My friend's excitement at the bowling alley disappeared when they saw the bloody knife. Jake's eyes grew wide as he realized the seriousness of the situation. Silently, he gestured for everyone to come along as we quickly made our way to the exit, leaving the strange atmosphere of Moonlight Bowling Alley behind. We stood together outdoors under the bright streetlights, sharing worried looks. Jake's realization deepened as he studied the ominous weapon he was holding. We started to panic and discussed what we should do next. "Do you think it's necessary to contact the authorities? Do we need to personally challenge the unknown individual?" While we were discussing, the sound of sirens in the distance got closer and louder. I felt fear in my chest when I understood the seriousness of the stranger's demand. With the intention of blaming me for a crime I didn't commit, he gave me a weapon used in a murder. The night turned into a hazy mix of talking to the police, hearing from witnesses, and the disturbing understanding that we were now involved in a murder case. The stranger had executed their plan, and now my friends and I were trying to deal with the terrifying situation they had put us in. At first, the authorities had doubts about our innocence, but later they figured out what really happened. I was chosen by a deranged killer who enjoys playing cruel games to be involved without my knowledge. Our accounts, along with video evidence from the bowling alley, cleared us of any wrongdoing, but the haunting memory of that night remained with us like an indelible mark on our spirits. The Moonlight Bowling Alley used to be a place of joyful entertainment, but now it carried a dark atmosphere that couldn't be removed. The previous sounds of laughter and cheers were now replaced by an eerie quietness, and the neon lights appeared to have an unusual ethereal shine. The knife, covered in blood, became a chilling symbol of that night, serving as a reminder that evil can be found in unexpected locations. Looking back at the empty bowling alley, I felt that the shadows hid secrets, and the stranger's twisted game was part of a darker story. On a Friday night, Emma and I decided to go to the nearby bowling alley for some fun. We were having a good time, eating nachos and having fun with the energetic ambience. The flickering neon lights gave the scuffed-up lanes a creepy glow. We were unaware that this night would turn into a troubling experience that would affect us for a while. While we were playing, I observed a man hiding in the dark, standing alone, and appearing unfamiliar with the surroundings. He had oily hair sticking to his forehead, and his eyes quickly moved around the alley, frequently focusing on Emma, which made her uncomfortable. I considered it as paranoia, but my instincts were telling me that something was wrong. After playing a game, Emma left for a moment to get some sodas. The creepy guy made his move at that moment. He approached me with a creepy smile on his face. He quietly complimented the game, his breath smelling strongly of inexpensive alcohol. I nodded carefully, making an effort to be polite. However, he was not accepting or tolerating it. "Isn't your girlfriend very attractive?" With slurred speech, he called out Emma's name, continuously staring at her as she approached the soda machine. I experienced a sensation of cold running along my back. The situation was becoming uncomfortable very quickly. "Hey, pal, we're only here to enjoy ourselves. I firmly cautioned you to keep it to yourself." He let out a low and unsettling chuckle. "I didn't mean any harm. I was just admiring a beautiful face." I gave him a serious expression, but he kept staring at Emma. My patience wore thin. "Back off. Man, seriously." Unaware of the tension, Emma came back with the sodas. The unsettling man remained, gazing at her intensely, similar to a hungry wolf. The time had come to stop this. "Listen, we're not interested." I sternly told them to keep moving, speaking with an even sharper tone. He stopped smiling, and his eyes took on a sinister sparkle instead. "Hey buddy, you can't boss me around." With adrenaline rushing, I shielded Emma by stepping forward. He just did. "Now, take a hike." He confronted me, with his face very close to mine. Our confrontation took place in a silent alley, with the only sound being the distant crash of pins. Suddenly and unexpectedly, he threw a punch towards my face. Although I managed to avoid it at the last moment, I was surprised by the strength of the impact. As our fight occurred, the bowling alley became chaotic. Emma was shocked and couldn't move, causing her to gasp. Once more, the unsettling man aggressively attacked me with his fists. We collided with a group of open lanes, causing the pins to scatter like startled birds. I relied on my instincts and successfully got him down by wrestling him. However, he kept on with great determination, violently flailing and using his claws. I felt sick because of the foul smell of his breath and the threatening insults he hurled. Before security intervened and separated us, the creepy guy managed to bite my arm. I flinched due to pain as blood flowed from the injury. They took him away while he was still yelling offensive words, leaving me traumatized and injured on the ground of the bowling alley. I felt the impact of the situation once I calmed down from the rush of adrenaline. I quickly looked at Emma, and she appeared extremely scared with wide eyes. The happy atmosphere of the bowling alley changed into a frightening scene from a horror movie. My arm was treated by paramedics, but their quiet conversations didn't help to calm my anxious mind. After receiving our statements, the police informed us that the unsettling man had a record of being violent and harassing others. I felt a chill as I realized how narrowly we had avoided a much worse outcome. As time went by, the event continued to disturb my sleep. Our memories of the bowling alley were tainted by a dark presence, despite it once being a joyful place. Emma and I were constantly cautious of the gazes of strangers, making sure to keep watch behind us. We no longer felt safe like we used to because something caused us to lose that feeling. Afterwards, the alley improved its security measures, but the harm had already been done. The feeling of vulnerability stayed with us like a ghost, and we couldn't get rid of it. Anxiety was triggered by any sound or unfamiliar face. The court case proceeded, and the eerie man was accused of assault and harassment. While justice tried to win, the wounds on our hearts were severe. Bowling, previously a fun activity, now evokes painful memories of that night. The experience taught us to be alert, rely on our intuition, and never underestimate the potential darkness found in unlikely locations. We started spending our Friday nights in a more calm and subdued manner after experiencing a disturbing situation that happened at a seemingly harmless bowling alley.